Hello and welcome to this video. Today is the day, today is finally the day to talk about some updates to the base. I'm mostly joking, of course. I did finish the end hub. I'm just saving it for the end of the video. There have been some other updates to the base, of course. Also, sorry this video took so long to get out. Part of it was just the scale of the project, and the other part was I was trying to record a tutorial at the same time, which I also finished and will upload in the next few days after I finish editing it. But while we're on the topic, I actually have a question for you all. It's been a month since I uploaded, not necessarily including the video from a few days ago, but I wanted to know if I do other large projects like this in the future, if you'd like to see periodic updates of some kind. If yes, then what would the content of the updates consist of, and how would you like me to update you? Like a short video or a community post or something else? Personally, I feel it's more interesting to see the finished product all at once as opposed to getting smaller pieces that almost give away what it will look like before it's finished. But that's just me. Let me know what you think. Moving on, the first change I made was actually I reset a bunch of the chunks in the overworld to allow for the 1.19 world gen closer to the base, like mangrove swamps and ancient cities. The second change was, and maybe I already mentioned it previously, but I made a froglight farm down one of the tunnels coming from my end hub. It leads to a bastion. I think this is the same bastion I tore down for all the blackstone I needed. But yeah, down here I have a... Ooh, he's upset. Hang on just a minute. They aren't happy with me. Down here. Down here is the Froglight Farm. This was actually a lot easier to set up than I was expecting. It was also a lot more efficient than I was expecting. I don't get much magma cream now anymore, but I'll figure that out sometime in the future. I'll also pretty it up sometime in the future when I figure out how I'm going to design a way up and down from the nether ceiling. Now, the frogs, I'd never worked with frogs up until now, so I actually learned quite a bit while making this farm. First, I learned that frog eggs actually spawn more than one tadpole, which makes perfect sense in hindsight, but almost every mob in the game only spawns one baby when you breed it, so it caught me off guard. And the only exception I can think of are turtle eggs. I got mine from a swamp to the southwest, and can I just say they are surprisingly responsive to being led with a lead, though they still get caught on trees. You can go up and down hills without much trouble. It was really interesting to see. I also learned that to get the different frog variants, you only need to have the tadpole grow up in the respective biome, as opposed to breeding the frogs, which was super helpful. I also had nether portals set up in a badlands and a tundra, so that was also relatively painless. What I thought would be the hard part was getting the frogs down from the nether ceiling, but I realized a potion of slow falling was perfect, so that helped quite a bit. Now for the third change, after resetting the chunks, I went to a nearby pillager outpost to the west and picked up a few allays. And if you want, you can pause the video real quick to try and take a guess as to where I may have put the allay in my base. And the answer is I brought them to my amethyst farm. I actually had the idea a while back when I heard about the allay, or maybe after that, but I had the idea to put the allay in with the amethyst and have them collect the shards when I mine them from the geode. Ooh. These guys are super cute, and I honestly think they're my favorite mob in the game at this point. I set up a silent hopper clock under the floor that triggers the note block just to prevent them from trying to pathfind to me. I can also turn it off if I want over here underneath this trapdoor, and eventually it'll shut off. And then they can wander to me if I need them to drop off any amethyst shards they've picked up. I think it takes about 30 seconds, but they'll start swarming me shortly. Oh, I think they're starting. Yep, they're coming to me now. And I can turn it back on like that. And I needed a silent hopper clock because I think I had a repeater clock set up before, but I think it stopped working when the chunk got unloaded. And when I tried a piston hopper clock, I noticed it was too loud, and I really didn't like that for this room. So I found a silent hopper clock, and I'll leave a link to it in the description. Also, the block under the note block is a packed ice. It's packed ice, in case anyone was curious. And my favorite part is watching them play hot potato with a shard like this. And for some reason, they really go zooming across the floor. And I was cracking up the first time I saw it. And if you give them many stacks, you can actually listen to them sing, kind of. And now, the moment I'm sure most of you have been waiting for, and I'll tell you right now, no one wanted this project finished more than me. We have the completed end hub. Now we've got a platform here at the spawn, and up above you can see the walkways. Let's take a look around. I'm not really sure what to really say at moments like these, so I'll just take a look around for now. In the corners here, we've got some fountains. Got the one of the pillars in the center of this underground area. We also have a couple maps of the structure. I thought this looked pretty interesting on a map. Another one over there. And then I'll actually be honest, I kind of phoned it in for this staircase. This whole underground bit was a last minute design because I thought I would have stairs coming down from the walkway up above. I didn't like how that looked though, so I had to dig a tunnel. And then I realized there was a pillar directly in front of the path, so I had to design around that as well. A fun project to be sure, but a lot of unexpected developments. And under the end portal, we've got some obsidian. This is kind of optional for everyone else, but this is where I would fight the wither. Quote unquote fight. I like how the staircase looks going down, however. That looks nice. And then to get up, we have some water, some trapdoors as well. If I can close it off if I want. We just swim up the water here. And yeah, here's the completed end hub build. We even get a shot at it from up above, somewhat. This was very much a project where I had a lot of ideas, a lot of visuals in my head, but many of them just didn't quite work out. I had to make a lot of compromises. Uh, Initially, I wanted a single ring that had stairs leading up to the platforms for the end gateways, but trying to build stairs at not quite a diagonal was next to impossible for me. Um, A little detail on my end, I have some dragon eggs on top of each of the end gateways. I have a data pack, a vanilla tweaks data pack that drops dragon eggs and elytra from the ender dragon when you fight it. I ended up with a lot of dragon eggs and figured that'd be a nice little piece to top the gateways. Some other things. Uh, I went through a bunch of other just alterations and decided to cut the ring down a bit. Here it doesn't go, it's not a full ring, and we have a diagonal corner instead, leading up to the two corner end gateways, stuff like that. The floor in the center with all the water, initially I wanted a design of slabs under the water, but I couldn't find anything that really looked good online, and I didn't really trust myself to come up with a design on my own, so eventually I just decided I actually like it better this way, as just keeping it mostly simple. It gives off a kind of solemn atmosphere for a final boss fight arena, and I really liked it a lot better this way. Um, there are actually two sets of stairs leading up the north and south here, but no stairs on the east or west side. That's because of the pillars here. I tried designing like a staircase that would curve around the pillars, but that also didn't really work out, so I just left it with two staircases here. But yeah, I'm really happy with the design. I can't quite say I love it. I have some mixed feelings here and there, but I do like it. Something like my nether tunnel I absolutely love, but this isn't quite on that level. I do like that it has a similar aesthetic to the end cities, the block palette, of course, but also having like branching paths like that. Is not 100% dragon proof, unfortunately. Not in a bad way, though. If you leave the dragon alone long enough, it will eventually start destroying the light fixtures along the pathways. It doesn't touch any of the bricks or any of the important walkways, but it does. It'll be a bit annoying if you have to replace the lights every once in a while. Uh, I don't think many people bother fighting the dragon after generating all the gateways, and I certainly won't be. So it's not that big of a deal, I don't think. And like I said near the beginning of the video, I'll be posting a tutorial of the build in the next few days after it's edited. I'll also be including a link, a world download link in the description, and I'll be trying to put together a world download for Bedrock users, but I'd appreciate some help from anyone more knowledgeable about these things. Specifically, if someone could let me know of any save conversion tools that are trustworthy, as well as a place I can upload the file for you to download either to console or PC. I don't think you can leave links to third-party sites in the description, so just names of the tools or sites is fine, and I can look them up on my own. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with all of that, so any help you can offer would be much appreciated. And I built all of this so I could put together a shulker farm, but at this point I just need a break from the end dimension. I've been in here for a month now, so instead I'm going to see if I can find some smaller projects to work on. In the meantime, I already have a few ideas, so yeah. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.